The return of Babylon. The wind howled through the hills of Jamaica, twisting through scorched trees and burnt-out shacks. Zion stood at the highest peak, his dreadlocks whipping around his face, his eyes scanning the land below. Once, this place had been his home, a place of peace, love, and unity. But Babylon had returned, and with it came death. The sky rumbled as dark clouds swirled overhead, the scent of rain mixed with smoke. Zion could feel it. Babylon was rising again, twisting the land, feeding on its very soul. He'd seen it in his dreams. The iron towers, the dark machines, the soldiers in metallic armor who spoke in dead tongues. But this time, something was different. Something far more dangerous stirred beneath the earth. As Zion stared into the distance, his hands clenched around the staff of the ancestors. The weapon hummed with energy, alive with the voices of the fallen. He could hear them, whispers of ancient warriors who had fought before him. They were restless, and they had one message. It is time. He closed his eyes, the image of Dr. Malachi flashing in his mind, a man twisted by dark knowledge, consumed by the very forces he sought to control. Babylon's leader, its architect. Zion knew Malachi was more than just a man. He was the embodiment of every evil that had ever plagued the land. Suddenly, the ground beneath Zion's feet trembled. The roar of machines echoed from the valley below. He opened his eyes, and there, in the distance, he saw it. Babylon, rising from the ashes like a mechanical beast. Its towers gleamed in the fading sunlight, dark energy crackling around them. It was a city of nightmares. Without wasting another second, Zion descended the mountain, moving like a shadow through the trees. He had no time to lose. The island's heart was dying, and if Babylon took control of it, everyone would fall. As Zion moved through the forest, he encountered Amara, the young spiritual leader who had been waiting for him. She stood by the edge of a sacred river, her hands dipped in the cool water, chanting softly to the ancestors. Her eyes opened as Zion approached, glowing with an otherworldly light. "Zion," she whispered, her voice calm but urgent. "The land weeps. Babylon grows stronger by the hour." "I know," he replied, gripping the staff tighter. "We need to reach the heart of the island. It's the only way." Amara nodded, her gaze sharpening. "The ancestors have spoken to me. They say the battle will be bloody, but if we harness the island's power, we can destroy Babylon for good." Together, they moved swiftly through the jungle, gathering warriors along the way. Survivors of Babylon's onslaught, men and women who had lost everything but refused to bow. Armed with spears, bows, and spiritual charms, they marched with Zion and Amara, ready to reclaim their land. The heart of the island pulsed beneath them as they reached its sacred cave, glowing with an ancient, vibrant energy. The air was thick with power, the very ground humming with life. Zion stepped forward, his heart pounding. He could feel the ancestors watching, their presence heavy in the air. He raised the staff, and the cave exploded with light. The energy of the island surged into him, filling every fiber of his being. He could see everything now. Babylon's dark city, Dr. Malachi's twisted experiments, the machines tearing into the earth. And he knew what he had to do. "Babylon must fall," Zion whispered, his voice barely audible. As the power coursed through him, the ground began to tremble. The warriors around him felt it too, their spirits lifted by the surge of energy. The ancestors' power was with them now. They were ready. Babylon's gates loomed ahead, massive and fortified. Zion and his warriors approached under the cover of night, moving like ghosts through the shadows. But Babylon's forces were ready. With a screech, the gates opened, and the children of Babylon poured out. Dark figures clad in mechanical armor, their faces hidden behind glowing masks. They moved with terrifying precision, weapons raised, ready to strike. Zion raised his staff, and with a roar, the battle began. The clash was brutal. Zion moved through the battlefield like a force of nature, the staff blazing with ancestral light. Every swing unleashed waves of energy, tearing through Babylon's soldiers, their armor cracking under the force. Beside him, Amara summoned the power of the earth, roots and vines rising from the ground to ensnare their enemies. But Babylon was relentless. Dr. Malachi's dark machines cut through the warriors like blades through grass. their soulless eyes glowing with hatred. The sky burned as energy beams shot from Babylon's towers, scorching the earth. Zion's heart pounded in his chest as he fought his way through the chaos, his eyes fixed on the central tower where Malachi waited. He could feel the pull, the dark energy swirling around the tower, growing stronger by the second. He broke through the line of soldiers and charged toward the tower, Amara at his side. The ground shook as Babylon's machines roared to life, towering figures of metal and fire. But Zion was unstoppable. Inside the tower, Dr. Malachi waited, his eyes glowing with malevolent energy. He smiled as Zion approached, his voice cold and mocking. "You think you can stop the inevitable? Babylon will rise, and all of this, your island, your people, will be mine." Zion said nothing. He raised the staff, and the battle began. The tower shook as the two forces collided. Malachi unleashed a wave of dark energy, but Zion deflected it, the staff glowing brighter than ever. The power of the ancestors surged through him, and with every strike, Malachi weakened. But Malachi wasn't done. With a snarl, he unleashed his final weapon, a massive machine, pulsing with dark energy, designed to drain the very life from the island. The ground beneath them cracked open, and the heart of the island began to fade. Zion's eyes blazed. With a final roar, he slammed the staff into the ground, unleashing all the energy he had left. The island responded, the ancestors' voices rising in a deafening chorus. The heart pulsed one last time, and a wave of pure light exploded from the earth, engulfing Babylon. When the light faded, Babylon was gone. The towers, the machines, Malachi, all of it turned to ash. The land was silent, peaceful once more. Zion stood alone on the battlefield, the staff still glowing faintly in his hand. The sky cleared, and the sun broke through the clouds, bathing the island in golden light. Amara approached him, her face calm. "It is done." Zion nodded, his gaze fixed on the horizon, for now. As they walked away, the wind carried the faint whispers of the ancestors, a promise that as long as Babylon existed, there would always be those ready to fight. The struggle never ended, but neither did the spirit. The end.
Babylon born fall, the time a come. Zion rise up, hear the beating drum. Just like a guy, we no afraid no more. Babylon born fall, Babylon born fall. We say righteousness, I make the storm. From the hills of Zion, the breeze blow strong. The ancestors whisper your voice in the song. Babylon a tremble, but we still hold on. Jah know the struggle, for the wicked them can't run. We plant the seed deep in the land. Babylon can't take what them don't overstand. Them build up them walls, but Jah not take no one. Cause see we power, it come from Jah plan. Babylon born fall, the time a come. Zion rise up, hear the beating drum. Jah light a guide, we no afraid no more. Babylon born fall, Babylon born fall. We say righteousness, I make the star. We say righteousness, I make the star. From the hills of Zion, the breeze blows strong. The ancestors whisper your voice in the song. Babylon a tremble, but we still hold on. Jah know the struggle for the wicked and can't long. We plant the seed deep in the land. Babylon can't take what they don't overstand. Them build up them walls, but Jah not take no one. Cause few in power, it come from Jah plan. Babylon born fall, the time a come. Zion rise up, hear the beating drum. Jah light a guide, we no afraid no more. Babylon born fall, Babylon born fall. We say righteousness, I make the star. From the hills of Zion, the breeze blows strong. The ancestors whisper your voice in the song. Babylon a tremble, but we still hold on. The people arise, you feel the vibration. Babylon a lose them grip on the nation. The earth cry out, we hear the revelation. Shock you with the strength to resist temptation. For so long them rule, them make we forget. But Zion remember, we never lose yet. The light a shine bright, a Jah make the bed. And the blessings a flow, the future set. Oh, oh. The spirit rise high. Zion children hold the faith, we don't live for die. The land a heal, Jah know the reason why. Babylon fall as Jah bless the sky. Babylon born fall, the time a come. Zion rise up, hear the beating drum. Jah light a guide, we no afraid no more. Babylon born fall, Babylon born fall. We say righteousness, I make the star. We say righteousness, I make the star. Them tower them crumble, the iron break. Jah wisdom a lead, we no make mistake. Babylon can't take what we build with faith. We move with the spirit, them too late. Zion rise up, the fight not done. But for the children we shall overcome. The land not cleansed, the fire burn. Babylon send, it soon will turn. Zion rise up, the world renew. The island heal and not just blue. Babylon fall, we start anew. Babylon Gwaan fall, the time a come. Zion rise up, hear the beating drum. Jah light a guide, we no afraid no more. Babylon Gwaan fall, Babylon Gwaan fall. We say righteousness I make the star. We say righteousness I make the star. Babylon Gwaan fall, the time a come. Zion rise up, hear the beating drum. Jah light a guide, we no afraid no more. Babylon Gwaan fall, Babylon Gwaan fall. We say righteousness I make the star. We say righteousness I make the star. Them tower them crumble the iron brick. Jah wisdom a lead, we no make mistake. Babylon can't take what we build with faith. We move with the spirit, them too late. Zion rise up, the fight not done, but for the children we shall overcome. The land not cleanse, the fire burn. Babylon's end, it soon will turn. Babylon Gwaan fall, the time a come. Zion rise up, the world renew. The island heal and not just blue. Babylon fall, we start anew. Oh.